Kim Belair has been desperate for Sweet Baby Ink to fade away again, to be able to operate in the shadows and nobody paying attention to them, but clearly that plan hasn't worked, and now she has gone all out with her opinions, trying to stir the pot yet again, it seems, because she apparently thinks that AI should prioritize empathy and inclusion over profit in gaming. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, you would think after a year of criticism, she would have tried to understand our point of view, the critics' point of views, that she would say to herself, you know what, maybe they're right in some ways. I'm not saying she needs to completely change her mentality if this is truly the way that she thinks and what she believes in, but she has not tried at all whatsoever to listen to her critics, and it seems that she's just like doubling and tripling down, probably because she knows that she is not really providing anything positive to the gaming industry. All she is doing is working with companies and basically guaranteeing that they are going to be failures, because there are basically no clean wins under Sweet Baby Ink's belt. The closest we got was God of War Ragnarok, but even that faced a lot of criticism because of things like race swaps and different character interpretations. It wasn't a perfect game all around. It did receive a lot of criticism. So they have no 100% wins that there are no criticisms for. And now, just when you thought that Sweet Baby Inc. couldn't get any more ridiculous, their CEO, Kim Belair, has once again proven that there is no bottom to the progressive virtue signaling rabbit hole. So she did attend GDC 2025. There was actually a clip from a couple of years ago that had blown up, which is when a lot of people started paying attention to Kim Belair, where she had basically said that they want to force companies to think the way that they do and create the content that they want them to, that you have to bully companies into doing what you want, which is definitely not a good look in my opinion. But during GDC 2025, as pointed out on X by Master of the TDS of Gothic Therapy, she had said, there is unfortunately a lot of prioritization of shareholders and of money over the employees who make the games. We want to use AI to expand access and bring in more diverse voices, not replace them. Our focus is on storytelling, empathy, and inclusion, and AI should serve those goals, not undermine them. What I find so hilarious about this is that she is supporting AI to expand access and bring in more diverse voices, when all AI will do is ultimately replace those diverse people that she is saying she wants more jobs for. All AI will do is take the jobs of these people you claim to care about and want to protect. Absolutely mind-boggling take here. She also talks about how, unfortunately, companies prioritize shareholders and money over employees, which, sure, I think that employees should be treated fairly. I think they should be paid fairly for their time. I do not like or really support crunch within the industry unless people are willingly doing it and they are being paid more. I think that there are definitely ways for a company to crunch maybe for 2 or 3 weeks a bit more ethically, but I do not think she understands that at the end of the day, this is a business, okay? Companies that are making games are businesses. They want to make money, not lose money. Maybe that's why she doesn't realize that Sweet Baby Inc. is not going to be worked with over the next couple of years, that these companies are going to abandon them. Like, do you ever think that Rocksteady is going to work with Sweet Baby Inc. again? Most likely not, because they lost hundreds of millions of dollars on Kill the Justice League. Do you really think that Remedy is going to work with Sweet Baby Inc. again after Alan Wake 2's massive failure? Most likely not. Yes, these companies do want to make money, which is what's been so crazy about the past few years in the gaming industry, because yes, there are a lot of companies that are prioritizing DEI over entertaining storytelling and gameplay and just immersive experiences, but that can only last for so long. It says, yes, you heard that right, Kim Belair, a woman who once appeared to admit on a podcast to having a physical attraction to Nintendo's Bowser. Listen, I love that Park Place. That Park Place is great. please stop bringing this up. I don't have the brain cells to deal with this anymore. I cannot think about her writing Bowser fan fiction anymore. It's over. My brain is cooked. Genuinely thinks the big issue plaguing the gaming industry, an industry drowning in layoffs, canceled projects, and collapsing profits, is that there's too much focus on, well, profits. And her magic solution, empathy focused AI. It says, though, goodbye, Volcano High. Remember this gem, a game so cringeworthy and aggressively political that gamers mocked it relentlessly before it even had a chance to flop. Its greatest contribution to gaming history was being laughed at in the YouTube reaction compilations. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was heartbreaking for me because I absolutely love the Arkhamverse. It is one of my favorite quadrilogies of games of all time. Those are such perfect experiences, and the whole story that was told was amazing. And then we got Kill the Justice League, and it completely trashed the legacy of these characters. We're never going to get Kevin Conroy as Batsy again. Like, it was just heartbreaking to see such a game with such disrespect come out, and they really thought that that was going to be a success. Unknown Nine Awakening, ever heard of this title? Probably not, because despite Belair's touted expertise, the game descended into obscurity shortly after its hyped reveal. When Unknown Nine Awakening came out, I had more viewers. I had almost double the amount of viewers that there were players in game. At this point, Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in a project practically guarantees that game's doom. Yet here, Belair's doubling down, suggesting developers use AI not to craft better gameplay, compelling stories, or immersive worlds, but to expand access and inclusion, exactly the type of vague, nonsensical buzzwords that landed her company's previous efforts squarely in the trash heap of gaming failures. If she just tried to voice her opinions and like the DEI that she basically wants in the gaming industry in a way that at least sounded like decent, or it was coming from someone with half a brain, maybe we could sit here and start to try to understand. But when she completely sidelines things like immersive worlds and compelling stories and very detailed, complex characters who feel human, and then she just straight up focuses on, oh, we need to expand inclusion in the industry, you can't take that seriously. It goes on to say Belair's latest GDC statement perfectly encapsulates why studios associated with her continue to fail spectacularly, prioritizing vague empathy and inclusion at the expense of fun, compelling gameplay and narrative integrity isn't just bad for business, it's toxic for the entire gaming community. Sweet Baby Inc. can keep peddling ideological platitudes all they want, but gamers vote with their wallets, and based on her track record, her games are headed exactly where they belong, forgotten, mocked, and left collecting digital dust, which I completely agree with. If this is the type of mind you have behind a project, that project is going to fail. They are not focused on providing a compelling experience, a unique experience, a fun experience. They are focused on pushing ideological bullshit, and that isn't what gamers want to deal with anymore. Will she come out and clarify what she meant? Of course not. If she says anything, it's going to be about videos that are created and these articles that are being written, and she's going to say, oh, you're all just being racist and sexists and bigots yet again, because that's the only play they have to pull anymore. So, of course, I will be keeping my eye on if she says anything, if she gives any sort of updates. I highly doubt it, but it seems that this is the new narrative that she's pushing, that AI is actually good and AI should prioritize empathy and inclusion over profits in gaming. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.